Hey there, welcome to my channel. My name is Daniela, and today I'll be introducing a new project that I created in collaboration with the Fantastic Ladies Facebook group. This is a continuation to a project that I did last year, and it is the Star Wars panning saga, Project Pan. This year we'll be working on the Prequel Trilogy. And yeah, I'm very excited. I love Star Wars. This project is short term. It starts January 4th, it goes till May 4th, because May 4th is Star Wars Day. And in this project, you work on a list of prompts. These are prompts based on characters from the prequel trilogy. I'll have them listed down below, and they'll also be posting in the Fantastic Ladies group. You can work on them however you like, either work on all of them at once, which is what I'll do. Pick your favorite characters, random, roulette, rolling style, however you'd like to do it. So yeah, first I'll go through each of the prompts. So the first prompt is Anakin Skywalker. For this, it's a product of your choice because he's the chosen one. Next we have Qui Gon Jinn, and he was a Jedi that was really about finding balance in the Force. He was more of a middle ground sort of guy. So for this would be a balancing product. Either like makeup wise could be like balancing your skin tone, or skincare, balancing kind of like your skin. Next we have Padme Amidala, and she was a very badass woman. So for that, either a work appropriate item which fits her in the Senate, she does a lot of work, or glamorous, and that was thinking more about before, when at the beginning when she was a queen. Also, Obi-Wan is not here because he was already in the original trilogy, so if you'd like to work on characters that were from there, you can look at my past videos, my past introduction, to see those prompts, or in the Fantastic Ladies group. So if they're a very important character that you think would have been in the prequels, if it was already done in the original, then I didn't repeat them. Next I went with Mace Windu. He had a purple lightsaber, which was very different. So for that simple purple product. Next we have battle droids. So these were the part of the army of those against the Republic, and because all the battle droids were pretty much carbon copies of each other, for this it would be a product you have multiples of that are the exact same. So let's say you have items in your backstock that it's the exact same as something else that you have in your collection. So yeah. And then on the Republic side, we have the clones. So they're not quite as carbon copy, because they would have their own personalities and such. So for this, it would be products you have variations of. So for example, if you have lipstick from some lipstick line of a brand, and you have a bunch of different colors, it would be like work on one of those lipsticks. Next we have Jar Jar Binks. He's a very controversial guy because he can be a bit annoying, but then, he's a friend that helps out and saves the day. So for him, he's a product that's awkward to use, but it still somehow works. Then we have Ahsoka Tano. So she's a character that's not very well known to the mainstream. She was introduced in the Clone Wars series, which is, I recommend it to watch. If you've seen all the movies, I recommend watching that. It's probably one of my favorite Star Wars series. So she was a main character in that, and later on, they've done things like in The Mandalorian and her own show now. But yeah, like within the Star Wars community, at first people didn't like her, but then she grew on everyone, and she was a very complete character, and yeah, very well known in the Star Wars community. But let's say someone who's only seen like a handful of Star Wars movies and, you know, doesn't really go into all the Star Wars series may not know her. So for her, I went with a product that's well known in the beauty community, but it's not mainstream. So let's say mainstream would be like Maybelline, CoverGirl, like anyone, you know, who's walked into a drugstore has seen like those makeup brands, but they may not be into makeup, so they might not know all the other, you know, brands there could be, like, let's say, ColourPop, things like that, you know, maybe Becca or such. So, like, people in the beauty community know those ones pretty well. But yeah. After that, we have Darth Maul. So he's, I guess, like Obi-Wan's villain. Like, wanted to take him out, but Obi-Wan took him out. And if you've seen many series in Star Wars, he kind of always comes back. Like, you think he's died, but then he comes back. So for him, I went with a product that just won't die. Yeah. Took a long time for him to go out. And the last prompt we have is Chancellor Palpatine. So this is, you know, before we have the full-blown Darth Sidious in the original trilogy. So Chancellor Palpatine kind of does all these things in the Senate to gain a lot of power. And, you know, at the end of the prequels, he turns the clones against the Jedi, and that was through Order 66. So for that, I went with a product that's related to either 6 or 66. You know, either the item $6, a palette with 6 pans, etc. Or you just want to work on it for 6 uses. However you like. Okay, now that we've gone through all the prompts, I'll just go through what I chose for myself to work on. So first of all, for Anakin Skywalker, product of your choice, I went with the ColourPop Star Wars palette. Yeah, I got this somewhat recently, and you know, it's very fitting for this project. My goal for this is to get some use out of this, really get to know it. So 10 uses. It would be, you know, I don't have to like do a look that's only this palette, but let's say not only grabbing one eyeshadow either. So that'll count as use. And then I'll also keep track of the uses in each palette, in each eyeshadow, just to see how much use I get in each. Then for Qui Gon Jinn, for a balancing product, I went with my Derma E scalp relief treatment. My scalp can get itchy, so I use this guy. Says it promotes a balanced and hydrated scalp. I don't want to necessarily like finish it. Like, I just want to see how much use I get normally with this over these 4 months. Then for Padme, I went with a work appropriate item. For this, I went with the Flower Perfect Pout Moisturizing Lipstick. This is in the shade Blossom. Kind of looks like a shotgun pellet, I've always thought. So this one I've been working on. This is all that's left. It's not really that much. I have been wearing it to work because it's very easy neutral. I made some marks on the back so that I could easily see how much use I'm getting. So I have like 8 marks there. I pretty much go through 1 mark a day, so it'll take me around like 8-9 days to finish this. And yeah, so I mean, I might be able to finish it in a month, who knows. Then for Mace Windu, a purple product, I went with this whole Ole Henriksen Strength Trainer Peptide Boost Moisturizer. We are in winter, so I want to make sure I use a good face cream. This is almost new. Like, I've had some uses in it. I like it. So you can see like a little bit of a dip. It's kind of going to like under here. But there is only 15 milliliters in here, so I'm pretty sure I'll be able to finish this within the project. Then for Battle Droids, a product you have multiples of, I went with this Lancome Monsieur Big mascara. I have another exact one because it came in one of those Sephora mascara kits. It has like 5 mascaras, and you get a voucher and such. It's a very good set, like worth your money. So yeah, I want to use this guy up. I currently have another sample size mascara open. That's normally what I use, a sample size, because I don't use mascara all the time, so I don't see the point of getting a full size like higher end mascara. Like, I'll buy a full size if it's a drugstore, but yeah. I'll probably start working on this in a month, and then it'll probably be done by the end of the project. Next, for clones, a product you have variations of, I went with this Marc Jacobs lip gloss. So we're starting around here. Try to scrape to get it down. These guys have been discontinued, but I have 2 other colors left. This guy is in Love Drunk. It's a very beautiful color. I also use this at work. I pretty much interchange between this guy and the other lipstick. This one if I want more rosy, the other guy if I want a bit more like beigey neutral. So we're starting here. I pretty much go through like a millimeter per use, so I still have some work to do on this, but I'm pretty sure I can finish it before the project. It's also a race against the clock because this is getting pretty old, so I do want to make sure to finish it soon. Then for Jar Jar Binks, this one was kind of hard for me to find something that's awkward to use, because I don't know if they're really awkward to use. I don't like keeping them around, but I went with this Clarins Remove. It's like powder exfoliator. So you put some in your hand, and then you put some water, and you kind of like mix it around, make a paste. So that's why it's like awkward. It's not like an easy squeeze tube cleanser, you know, like you have to do some work, but it works well. And I'm starting here. I'm not sure where it starts from. Like, I've used this, haven't used it recently, but yeah, I still have some ways to go. Then for Ahsoka Tano, I went with a ColourPop item. I wanted to get this guy moved out because it is getting pretty low. I think there's only like some product at the bottom and up here, and I have to make sure to like scrape around the wand to get enough product. Also tried to get out the stopper, but I don't think it can be removed. So once it's like impossible to get anything out, then I'll call it done. And I'm getting pretty close, so maybe it'll be done soon enough that I could just roll in something else. But yeah, depending on when I finish these items, I might want to roll something else in. Next, we have Darth Maul, so something that won't die. For that, I am going to roll in this eyeshadow. This is from the Creepy Cute palette from Shroud. So I'm going with this guy. It looks like I have not used him that much, but I have used this so many times. You just can't see anywhere, really. I want to use it 20 times. This is like one of my favorite ways of wearing eyeliner. It has this kind of like thicker consistency, so it works really well as an eyeliner that's not too stark, but you can really see the blackness of it. So yeah, 20 uses. And the last item, which is for Chancellor Palpatine, something related to 6 or 66. I went with this Revolution highlight, and it's from the collab with Roxy. I don't know who that is, but I just like this highlight. This one is in the shade Sunlight. I had to write it on here because the shade name was on the box it came in, but not on this, so I wanted to remember. And yeah, this is like what I'll be mostly using to bring to work, so I just want to see how far I can get. I've had some use, so it's down to here, but there is quite some ways to go. I don't think it'll be done. But yeah, hopefully I can get some good use, maybe halfway done. We'll see. But yeah, that's it for this project. For my prompts, there might be some. I think there's quite a few items that I could finish like within 2 months. So I have like another Star Wars palette I would work on after this. And yeah, we'll see what happens. But thanks for watching. If you'd like to join, please join. Especially if you like Star Wars. Can never get enough Star Wars. But yeah, may the Force be with you. Bye.